Good morning. So today we're going to be making cabbage rolls. We're going to our son's for Christmas, and I thought I would bring some cabbage rolls. Now I'm going to use this beautiful red cabbage because I think it's a little more festive for Christmas. So this is a cabbage that we grew in our garden. I threw it in the freezer, and now all I need to do, once it's thawed out, all I need to do is peel these leaves off. I don't have to mess with all the boiling of the cabbage, which I find really cumbersome. So I've got 1 cup of rice. This is jasmine rice that I've cooked. It's 1 cup of rice, and I have some salt and some onion. Hold on. I have a pound of ground pork and a pound of extra lean beef, some salt, a little bit of oregano, some pepper, and some dill from the garden to put in. So I'm going to mix all that up, and then I will make my cabbage rolls. I'll show you how I roll them in a little bit. So I've made my mix. I've got 1 cup of, actually it's 1 cup of raw rice, but I cooked it, 1 pound of pork, 1 pound of lean ground beef. I added a really small onion because some of our family don't like onion. I added some salt, a little bit of oregano, a little bit of garlic, and then lots of dill. And here are my beautiful leaves. Now that's going to make a huge cabbage roll, so I'm going to cut it in half. I'm cutting off this hard core part, and you see I've made some here, and these are just a nice size so that it's not going to overwhelm the meal, although we do love cabbage rolls. So here I've cut, and that's plenty big enough for a cabbage roll. I'm going to put about a good tablespoon of mix in there, and then start rolling it like that. And then to make sure that they don't come apart, I kind of tuck these ends in like that, and then tuck this end in so that it makes a nice neat little package like that. And there you go. There's the cabbage roll. So I'm going to keep making these. I'm probably going to freeze all of these because it's still too early to cook them. But when I cook them, I will take a quart of tomatoes that we've canned and add a little bit of sugar to it, blend that, and then put it on top of the cabbage rolls in the casserole. Lots of salt and lots of pepper on top. That's what makes a really good cabbage roll. So if we happen to make a video of them when they're done, well, you'll see what they look like. They're delicious. That's it for now. So this is how many cabbage rolls we got out of that. 1 cabbage and 1 pound of ground beef and 1 pound of ground pork. Now, look at this. The purple cabbage, working with purple cabbage stains your hands and your fingernails. But anyway, I changed my mind. I'm going to cook some of these for supper tonight, and then you'll be able to see how they look. So the first thing I'm going to do, I had a little bit, see these tiny little leaves? Look at this. This was what was left of my cabbage. These cute little leaves. Cabbage is an amazing thing. Look at this, perfectly formed. Look at that. Perfectly formed little leaves. So I'm going to put these in the bottom of my pan because in the past I've found that cabbage rolls will easily burn. So if you have any little bits of cabbage left over like this, put it in the bottom. I put it in the bottom of my pan, and it seems to help. So I've got my canned tomatoes here. I'm going to add a squirt of yellow mustard. Doesn't have to be fancy mustard, just plain old mustard is fine. And I've got my, I hope this doesn't sploosh up. I'm going to we go. That's all I need to do for that. And because I had some of my meat mix left over, I don't know what to do with it. So I'm going to put it in the bottom of underneath my cabbage rolls. That way I'll use it up. So I'll just put that in there like that, and then put my cabbage rolls on top. Just a little bit of extra protein, I guess. There we go. So now I'm going to take these big ones because I don't think they look they're as big, they're as nice for taking 2, 3, 4, 5. How many will we eat? 6 and 1 more. There we go. So I'm just going to do that. Before I put the sauce on, though, I find that these tend to explode. Not explode so much, but the air gets inside, and so I'm just going to poke them like that so that they don't explode and come all undone, because in the past I've had that happen. So this is what I typically do before I put them in the oven to bake. Then I take my sauce, pour it on, lots of sauce because these take a long time to cook. Lots of sauce, all that sauce, and then I need to do this. The secret to super good cabbage rolls, I find, is lots of seasoning. And then a slow bake. I put them in the oven at 250, 275 and let them bake all afternoon. And some salt flakes. There we go. That's it. That's it. So I'll show you what they're like when they're all baked. They're so good. They're so good. I don't know what we'll have with that because they've got rice and they've got meat and they've got vegetables. So I don't know what else we'll have with that. But check this out later and you'll see what they look like. There are the cabbage rolls. They look a little different from the ones made with regular cabbage. They're a little darker, but they look really good. So we're going to have those. I baked them probably for 3.5 hours at 250 degrees. So you can see that the tomatoes went down. And now some of the rice and the meat that I had put on the bottom came up to the top, but that's okay. It'll be really good. So we're going to have those with mashed potatoes. How many would you like? 2. And you want some of this sauce on your potato? And we've got some carrots, steamed carrots with a little bit of thyme and a cucumber avocado salad. So there we go, that's our supper. There you go. It's all good. Here you go, here's your plate. Look at that. Lovely cabbage rolls made with purple cabbage.